Good morning. What's up, everybody? I was drinking some coffee right in the beginning, so mm. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day. I don't like Valentine's Day. I don't like Valentine's Day. It's lame. Let's see here. Let's go to it. So last week we worked on this book box. I think we did. Yeah, we did. And this is a test for the Gilded Edition Federal 52 Gilded Edition for this month's subscription. What's up, Paul? I see you, Paul. What's up, brother? So I finished this up and just wanted to circle back and show you. This is the case, the outside of the book box, the cover. The seal is going to go right here. Excuse me. This is the inside. So like the inside of the cover. So like this would be what you see on the back of the front cover when you flip the book open. Right here. There's some nice marbled paper. And then this is the book edges. So this is the edges of the book. And you've got your copy that go on the bottom of the box. So yeah, that's that. I thought I'd show you guys that. What we're going to do today is, let me see here. What we're going to do today is, I was also working on a commissioned deck last week. I was working on the court cards. Excuse me. I'm going to work on the tuck case a little bit today. I'm going to get a little bit further on the tuck case this morning, and then we are going to start drawing begin the work on I'm gonna do a new test card for Tom Bombadil from Lord of the Rings. I've already drawn Palm Bombadil. I've already drawn Tom Bombadil, but I want to approach the court cards a little bit differently. Not in terms of style, maybe a little bit in style, but I want to approach them a little bit differently in terms of like posing and composition. So that's what I'm going to try today. So go back to the design. So this is the tuck case for that commission deck. This company's called HJ Family of Companies. It's very interesting. It's always interesting to see what kind of people collect and buy my decks. But it's also interesting to see out of those people that buy my decks. I mean, some of them are business owners, and some of them are, some own their own businesses. And that was this case where the owner of the business, which is a subscriber, approached me. He owns this company called H&J Family of Companies, and he wanted me to design it. He loved Legal Tender, and he wanted me to create a deck that kind of had just the same, some of the same approaches in terms of manufacturing that we did for Legal Tender, for his company, and the company makes all sorts of manufacturing stuff in like the electrical industry. It's actually amazing how much stuff they make. They have branches and factories all over the world. I think like 120 countries. But yeah, that's what I'm working on for a little bit right now, and then we'll get on the Tom Bombadil. And I'm just showing you this because I think part of Dawn's Early Light is just kind of seeing, it's just kind of being, like I said in the very beginning, a fly on my shoulder while I'm working. And, you know, I have to, I do a lot of other stuff besides the main subscription stuff like that. And so that's part of it. And I got to get this, I have deadlines for different things and that kind of stuff. And if I can show you, and I'm going to work on it, I might as well just show you how to do it. I mean, show you what I'm doing, because that's what I'm working on. And that's part of what I do. All right. So, what I'm doing now is I'm just putting together the side pieces, the top, and the tongue. And so one thing that I've done is started the background here. So this text that's in the background it's in the background of the design. It's also in the background of the back design. Now, everything that you see that's blue, like this, that represents that's going to be holographic foil in the background. So that's just a little context of what the blue means. So yeah. So the text in the background is the mission statement of the company. And right now I'm just knocking out that stuff. I'm going to do that by creating a mask. I thought I was. I have to rasterize this text first. Now I can mask it just like that. So let me just duplicate this layer. I'm going to hide this one. I'm going to apply that mask. Select it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the background and delete. So the mission statement will be, this is similar to the way I did this in Legal Tender. These are not the same cards as Legal Tender. These are the same cards. I'll show you this card. They're my standard. These are actually my Tally Ho standard court cards. I'll show them to you. With like this custom border. So this is the back design. If it's in red, I'll turn on the holographic layer. So everything that's red is going to be holographic foil. That's just what that means. But here's an example of like the spades. It's my standard. It's my Tally Ho standard court card set. So everything that's red is foil. And this is what we worked on last week a little bit. There's king. I think I'm not really sure how many that they want to print, but I know that I'll print like 500 for myself that I'll sell on my website. So there's just an example of everything that's red is foil, holographic foil, and that's just it's my standard Tally Ho court set that I use like in the Scarlet Tally Ho's, those kind of things. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put H and J in these little shields right here. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to lock this back layer so I can grab and lock this layer too. Well, there we go. I'm going to group all of this. I don't want the die line. I just want the sidebar. Okay. I'm going to duplicate that group. Well, that didn't work so well. I have not already answered. Don't worry about it. I'm not quite sure when these are going to be released because I have to first finish them. Actually, I'm not going to do that first because I want to put the HJ in there first. So let's get the H in there. I would say probably April is what I'm guessing. Is when I'll release these. I need to find a taller, skinnier font. I'm going to use this one because this is the font that I used for the core cards. To rasterize this, I'm going to find my glove. Excuse me. Let me turn on symmetry. I didn't know how to cross piece. That's cool. Does the J have an option? Okay, let's rasterize the J. You know what? I don't like that. I don't feel like that fits the style. Okay, what I'm going to do is create a new layer. Let's see here. Let's go a little bit tighter. Let's go. There we go. Let me turn off symmetry. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. Let's see here. Let's not go that thick. Let's go. Yeah, that's better. Because then I want to do a shadow. that layer. Let's see here. Duplicate. Let's go down halfway. Well, let's do like this. Make sure I get everything. Then come down halfway. Let's mask that. Now, I like that shadow. New layer. Stroke. Outside. Let's go stroke 7 points. What? Target layer is hidden. Oh, I see what you're doing. I think it is going to be better if I do it. Let's see. I can't make up my mind. Yeah, I think this is going to be better if I do it darker. Because the H will be foil. John, you're asking, hey Jackson, I'm dying to try out the new stock for the table players decks. Will they definitely be coming in March? John, I will never say definitely until I have the things in my hands. We've got the decks. We actually got the EPCC cards, and then we got that one, and then we got the United States Playing Card Company version of the Volume 7 table players. And it's interesting to compare the two. But we've got the cards. We just don't have the tuck cases yet. And as soon as we get the tuck cases, we'll be good to go. This is a commission deck that I'm working on. That's not what I wanted to do. Stroke 7. There we go. But I really like the stock. It's really great. I'm testing out this other company too. It's this printing company, and I'm testing them out. They're in they're in the United States, and I'm getting some samples from them. But I'm not going to reveal anything until I actually have tried the samples and filled them, see how the quality is, all that kind of stuff. So, okay. Yeah, the Sherlock Holmes is on the on that new table player stock, but that can be a little bit uh, that can be a little bit misleading if you try to compare the two, only because the 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 Sherlock Holmes, while it's on the same paper stock, it has tons of foil on it on both sides, so it's going to make it even different. Yeah, I'm really excited about this new printer that I just found. I used a company once called Shuffled Ink and had okay success. Uh, they were really nice, but they had it was more customer service stuff that made me not want to do it. But this is another company I found in the States, and they have been super, super nice. Like so far, they've had some of the best customer service, and I'm excited. I hope that their card stock, their finish, I hope it's good, because I'm going to be very sad if I don't get to work with them, because they have been super, super nice to work with so far, just like communicating with them and that kind of thing. All right, so I'm going to put this top thing on. Just line this up. Line these acorns up. Looks about right. Okay, I'm not going to have room for this long H&J company, so I'm going to go ahead and take this mask. I'm going to fill it. Now what I'm going to do is, this may or may not work. This sometimes works, this sometimes doesn't work. I'm going to merge that entire group. Yeah, the we actually, printing the Sherlocks on that stock was actually, it was actually a mistake, and that's why the tuck case is a little bit shaky, which I don't like a shaky tuck case, but I like a shaky tuck case a whole lot more than I like a tuck case that's too tight that I can't get the cards out. And it's kind of one of those things of, you know, uh, that was the that's the reason why they were a little bit shaky. Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see here. I'm just gonna take this. I'm gonna move this where it needs to go, which is right about there. Then I'm going to pull this back right there and mask that. Yeah, this is gonna work just fine. I don't want to put. I thought about putting the J upside down the spine, but I always wanted to. I like making. I like making the text readable. If it's somebody's got it sitting up like a book, so that's why I don't want to put it upside down. More personal preference than anything else. There we go. I'm going to go back into this one here and just paint that back in. Now these are matching up. There we go. Now I actually I may change these because it's kind of weird now that these H and J's are one direction. Because if you think about it, if someone's opening this tuck case, they're going to be looking at it like this. And that's not what we want. So we're going to go in here. I should have just erased it, but I'm already committed now, so. See, John, thanks for coming by for a little bit. I should have erased this earlier, but I didn't, so now I have to do this. Got to do it by hand. What else, guys? Let's talk about playing cards. Do, 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 do. Take. What? Oh, it's a different thing. I might put the eagle's head in here. That might be cool. Let's try that out. There's one little eagle's head in there. That'd be awesome. right there. I see a dot. I must have filled the mask. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like I just filled the mask where I shouldn't have. There we go. Okay, I'm going to control save because I haven't controlled save in a while, so that's not very good. All right, let's grab this eagle. I'm just going to take just a big, kind of a chunk of him. Let's have him facing in. So he's looking at, well, I should have taken more than that. Flip it around here. Let's just line it up where I want it. So I want him kind of looking in at the logo, because I'll put the name here, maybe like HJ or something. Or I might put Kingswell Project. I don't know. So like that. Let's have it overlapping. That would be a little more dynamic. Just like that. Now let's mask. So I only need this part here. So let's mask. Then from there, I only need okay. Now what I need to do is come back into here. Let me just clean this mask up first. Now what I need to do is add a little bit more of a border line here, just to make him pop a little bit better. He is going to be pretty small. Now I need to come in here and mask this line out. Now I can bring this back. Let's bring the opacity down so I can see it. And then mask that out. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. So let's do the same thing. Let's find that eagle head. Where'd I put you, Brohim? Duplicate, flip, horizontal. Bring that guy over there. Do the same thing. Mask out this. Mask out that. There we go. may just put H and J just because I don't have that much room. I definitely don't have enough room for H and J families of companies. H, J. Actually, I don't even know if I need anything because we're going to have some kind of seal and it's just going to cover it up anyways. So maybe better. Because what I don't like is when, and I've done this before on my own decks, I don't like when they put text on the top and they don't account for the seal being placed on it. And then what you always end up having is the seal covering up some of the text that's supposed to be showing. And it just looks awkward. But like in this case, if I just leave this blank, the seal will fit really nicely in this little slot. All right, so I'm going to take, let's see, we're going to take this spine. One Eros 88. Sorry, only just joined. Will this Federal 52 gilded book box still have the LTD version of the tuck box sitting inside? The plan is yes, to have the book box to have the LTD tuck case inside. Put this spine piece over here. Now what we need to do, we need to come in here and we need to flip. Actually, this one's correct. We need to flip this one over here. This one is the one that's backwards. There we go. Okay, I'm going to save this and feel like I'm done with this for today. So what I want to do now is open up my original Tom Bombadil card here. Let's see here. Where is it at? Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. New cards. No. Yes. Let's see here. Fellowship of the Ring. Tom Bombadil. Okay. So this is my original Tom Bombadil. I really love these court cards. I think they're really cool. The only thing that I don't, as I started doing this, the one thing that I don't like about these court cards is I scaled the heads up big enough to where uh, I scaled up I scaled up the heads big enough to where it makes everything else, like the hands and the torsos, really big, and it makes everything really tight, and I think a little bit awkward. And my favorite deck of all time, my personal favorite deck, which I think is uh, the greatest deck ever created. I think it is. And I've been saying this since the beginning. I mean, I've been collecting playing cards myself for, since I started, like 7 years, 8 years ago. And I think that this is still the the best deck of cards ever created. So it's just more because of my illustrative background. But they're a deck by Vladislav Urko. And here's some of the core cards right here. And I have this deck. And if you collect playing cards, he designed 2 decks of cards. And in my personal opinion, if you're a playing card collector and you do not have these decks of cards in your collection, then you're making the biggest mistake of your life. Here's one right here. This is the one. This is my This is one of my favorites right here. Let me see if I can see pictures. But it's just fun. The illustrations are awesome. I mean, just the amazing illustrations, everything that goes with it. I think it's awesome. But anyways, that's one of them. And then this is the one that's my favorite deck right here. It's this, let me try to find it. This is one of my favorite core cards right here. What is this? I don't want to get on that. It's got Playboy pictures on it. Let's see here. See if I can find a different. But he's an incredible illustrator. You should definitely check out his work. But one thing that I love about this deck, let's see if I can find some big pictures. One thing I love about this deck is just the way that he did the court cards. I don't know what it is about it. This deck has always been a huge inspiration to me. And I've always really liked it. Look at that one. Look how awesome that is. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it, but I think it's awesome. This card right here with this guy with the bow and arrow, it's probably it's probably my favorite, one of my favorite core cards. Let's see here, copy. Just paste this right here so I can make it a little bit bigger. But you can still buy them. I mean, they're not that expensive. It's like $20 bucks, $25 bucks, $30 bucks. But the thing I like about this is notice how small their heads are, and that allows their body. So basically, every one of the characters are cut off. So that basically they have the entire, from the waist up. And I like that. And I say that because the thing that I was finding, like if I open up some more of these core cards, let's see, Goldberry, Boromir, Sam. The thing that I was finding with these was so much, you have such a great opportunity to tell the story of the character in the stuff that's in their hand, their costume, all that kind of thing. And like with this, for example, like this guy right here, you get to see, let's go back to him right quick. Like with this guy, you get to see, he's got this bird, he's got a bow, he's got 2 knives, he's got a sword, he's got arrows, and you get to see like his whole costume. And that those are all great opportunities to tell a story about the character. And the characters in Lord of the Rings are so rich, and they all have different, specific, unique things about them that help tell that story. And I was finding with doing it like this, I was really, really limited in in the amount of just real estate that I had to tell a story. Like, and what I was finding was when I would put things in there, it just would seem really crowded. So like, I wanted to put this kind of lotus look, this little lily, because him and Tom Bombadil and his wife Goldberry, which is this lady right here, you know, all about these lilies and stuff like that. But one thing that I was finding was, like, I wanted to make sure I put the lily in there, but then I wanted to make sure, like with Tom Bombadil, I wanted to make sure he was holding the ring, because in the book, Frodo gives him the ring, and Tom Bombadil just like flips it around like a toy and makes it vanish and reappear. And so that's why it's in one hand and then not in the other. But because I wanted to fit all that in there, it just makes everything seem really crowded. Like you don't get to see any of his costume. His arm is way up in his face. You know, this underarm is way up in his face and his beard. And I just didn't like that. And if you look at Goldberry, like, it just is, for me, it's awkward. Like her body's, the way it's like the symmetry line is kind of weird and awkward, because I wanted to have her holding this lily, because that's a very important part about these characters. But in order to do that, I had to fit her whole arm in there, and I just didn't like it. I just wasn't feeling it. Same thing for Boromir. You know, I wanted to put the horn in there, the Horn of Gondor, but like, I did all this really cool work on his. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Let me see if we can find it. There's the 3D horn that I made. I don't know. Let's see if I've got this. So like on his greaves for his, I guess I don't have it. But like, I designed the whole, like, you can kind of see it right there, but there's like the whole tree of Gondor on his greaves. And because I was trying to fit everything in there, the horn was covering up that tree of Gondor. And so like, there was so many different opportunities to tell an interesting story about the character that is just making, I want to go back. And basically, I want to go back and I want to approach the court cards more like this, where I zoom out a little bit, where I scale down the size of the character, and then that way I will be able to have more room to put all those different things and elements into the story and into the card. Like a good example of Tom Bombadil, I want him holding a flower, and I want him flipping the ring. And like, even like this pose is it's like, I could basically take this pose. Let me see here. Let me just take all this, group it. Like, if you look at this pose right here, I mean, this is perfect. I mean, even for like, just as a starting point. Like, if I take this, scale it up, let's get my card template here. Do I have that on one of these other ones? No. So is it on my channels here? Let's see, channels, characters, channels. No. Let me close these up. Same thing with like Frodo. Like, I wanted to put Sting in there. I got to redraw Sting anyways because I redrew it. But like, here's the little brooch that he was given by Galadriel, and like, that's covered up and kind of lost. Here's Samwise. I think Samwise is a little bit closer because he's smaller and you can see more of his costume. So he's getting a little bit closer. Let me see here. I need to open up the card template here. Excuse me while I do this. I need, let's see, I want this one. Okay. It doesn't look like the right size to me. What is this? Image. Well, I can just put this in here. Excuse me. So even if like I wanted to use this just like pose, just as a good example, I could use this pose for Tom Bombadil where, well, I'll have to make him a little bit smaller because I got to fit his hat in there. Let's say I wanted to use this pose as an example, just to give you an example of what I'm talking about. What this allows me to do is, say this is Tom right here. Here's his beard, and then his fun little hat with the feather, because that's in the book. And the thing about this pose is I've got more room. I get to show all of his beard, so I get to put all that kind of cool detail in there. And then I can put this arm down here where, maybe his hand is here like I wanted to, and he's flipping the ring in his hand like that. And in this hand, maybe he's holding that lily that I wanted to put in there like that. So that's the little lily that Tom Bombadil is holding. And he was all about nature. He was all about nature and stuff. And so maybe I have like a bird, and he was always collecting these flowers. And so maybe he's got like a pouch or something with a bunch of flowers in it. And then, I have the chance to like show his torso and like his costume, like to develop his costume more and just tell that story. Maybe there's a little bird that's flying around with him. So there's just a lot more. When I scale them down like that, there's just a lot more. There's a lot more opportunity for me to put stuff in there that has about the story. And that's what I'd like to do. So, and I really like this pose, actually. So what I'm going to do is let me scale this, bring this right here. Let me scale this down. Just so I can see it. And I love this deck. I love this deck, and I want to do it similar to this deck just because this has been such an inspiration to me. Do I still have Tom Bombadil open? Yes. I'm going to see if I can... I'm going to see if I can salvage his head. I'm pretty sure I got all of his beard and stuff in there. Let me see. That's his arm. Let me see how much of this drawing. This is a good example. You'll get to see all the drawing reappear of all the stuff that's behind there of what I lost. And it may be perfect. Like I'm able to just take the whole drawing that I did and use it. But the question is, do I have it in there? There's his beard. Like all this work, like all this detailed work I put in the beard. Now, that looks like I deleted it, which, no, I didn't delete it. It's in there somewhere. Which, that's his hair. What is this? Here it is. It's like all this work I put into the beard. Now, some of this may not translate just in terms of like this. I mean, it's kind of one of those things of like you got to pick your battles because even at this scale, all this beard, all this beard detail is just going to come out printed just noise, really. And I mean, that's a good example right there. It's just like noise. But if I scale it, if I scale it down even further, then it's just going to be even more noise. So that's one thing that I'm going to simplify in the new drawing is simplify some of that detail. So even though it looks great here and it looks great zoomed in, nobody's going to be viewing this stuff from this scale. So, but I like his hand. I like the way that I've been doing these hands, and so I'm just going to see how much of this first one I can salvage. And today I'm going up to the office. And Tim, my new photographer and video guy, we're gonna take a bunch of reference photos of me posing in like these different positions, just because it's always a lot easier to, draw when you have got reference photos, especially when you're drawing humans. So let me see here. I'm going to try to get all this head together. There we go. So that's the head. Let's pull that over here. Let's delete this mask. Okay, what is this? Is that baked in? Let's see. Nope, there we go. So we have his whole face. That's good. Oops. No, that's good. That's okay. Let me just I'll paint it back in right quick. Looks like I lost this mask too. Let's see here. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'll kind of get my idea, because I've been wanting to work on this specific card for a while and rework it. So let's say that's where we put his head. Okay. Let's say that's where we put his head. And let's think about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like sketch the pose, and then I will go back today when I take reference photos. I'll go up to the shop and I'll take reference photos of me in this pose. Then I can use that to get lots of the elements correct. So let's think about this. So you got his head here. Okay, so his spine will come up like this. His neck come down here, shoulders. And then what I want to do is bring his arm down past the midline, elbow, and then have his arm come up above the midline, right above the center. And then we'll have his hand right here. There's his thumb. And then his fingers. That way he can be flipping the ring. And then in the top one, we'll have the ring in his hand. And then in the bottom hand, there'll be no ring, because that's a kind of in reference to like how the ring had no effect on him. So we've got his collarbones, his torso here, his rib cage. And then with this hand, we'll have that come down here, elbow, and then he'll come back up. And then with this, I could probably use this hand again. Let's see here. Pull this over here. Hands perfectly scaled. Done. Ship it. Right about there. I'm going to take it off his hat. You know what? I probably can even use the other hand, this original hand here. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I probably can. It's actually in a good spot. It's in a good pose. Because that'll do good when I flip it around. What I'll make sure is just that the hand is above this index, this little cross. That way, when I reflect it around and rotate it, it'll all match up nice. I had the ring in there too. Let's see. Here's the ring, and the ring is huge. The ring of power. One ring to rule them all, and in the darkness bind them. Do it. It's my Emperor Palpatine. Do it. So let me just sketch. Let me sketch what I'm thinking here. So got his neck. He'll have some kind of like big collar because he's dope. And he's like probably one of the most powerful beings in Middle Earth that nobody talks about. He's got a sport jacket on. What is he going to a company mixer? Like a green cloak or something. I need to look at the description of the book, what he's wearing. But I know he's got big yellow boots. And so what I'm doing this morning is I just want to kind of get a framework of these new poses so that if I go take a bunch of reference photos today at the office, I kind of have some direction of what I want to do. I feel like Tom Bombadil is a little bit more tubby. He's not going to be a skinny guy. me find his description, see if there's anything that jumps out. Tom Bombadil was an enigmatic figure that lived throughout the history of Arda. Living in the depths of the old forest, he seemed to possess unequaled power in the land around his dwelling. Although seemingly benevolent, he took no stance against the Dark Lords. His existence passed into Hobbit lore and was referenced in poems such as The Adventures of Tom Bombadil. Let's see. Tom Bombadil was a merry old fellow. Bright blue his jacket, and his boots are yellow. That's from the book. Let's see here. Tom looks like a male figure with a red, ripe face with many laughing wrinkles. Okay. Sporting a long brown beard. His eyes are bright blood. I don't even know what that means. Does that mean red? Oh. I don't know what that means. Bright blood. He wears a blue coat. So that's going to be something if I do color. I'm going to have to give him a blue coat. He has a blue coat and an old tall hat with a long blue feather. His thick legs wear big yellow boots. He lived in a little house in the dingle of the old forest by the Withy Windle, together with his lovely wife, Goldberry. Let me see. Just trying to see anything else. Some other illustrations of him. Yeah, that's about it. So he's got a blue coat, blue feather, yellow boots, but we can't show his boots because I don't want to do full court cards, but it might be cool to do a different edition that has full court cards, I'm just saying. So let me rotate this around. Just to see how it's feeling. Yeah, that's pretty good. Some things I don't like. I'll need to make sure I differentiate these two hands. I like how the hands come together like this. What I might do, actually, what I'm going to do is this. Let's try this. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I think this is the way that I originally did it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this hand and the ring down below, like right here. I don't want to go too far down because then I'll get into his beard up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this arm down. So it'll go below the mirror line. And then I know I want to move this up because this elbow was getting in the way of that. So I'm going to pull his hand way up just so I can get that elbow raised quite a bit. So that would kind of put it right here. Kind of put it right there. That gets the elbow up out of the way. And the reason I want to do this is because before I had an original, let me show you. I did this originally too. So let me turn this, let me get this back to the way it was. So this Tom Bombadil here is actually, you see how the hands are facing each other? I liked that because I had an original version, let's see, where they were not facing each other. They were like palm to palm. Let me find that and open that up. Lord of the Rings. Where are you, Tom? Tom. Here's V1. No, this is these court cards. I did these last year. Where'd it go? Well, this is V1. So V2. Let's see, V2. Maybe I ended up changing it. Let's see. Where I have his palm to palm. So I think this is what I ended up this is what I ended up changing it to. So you can kind of see. Let me just merge these, duplicate, merge, just so we can see see them together. So you can kind of see the differences. So originally I had like palm to palm. I can't even remember which one I ended up liking better, but I think I went with this one here on the left, just because it was me trying to kind of solve that issue of like not like being like this all looked awkward, but look, now that I'm looking at both of them, they both look awkward. Like where, like on this one on the right, like where's this arm coming? Like where's it coming from? I mean, I understand it's coming from here, but it's just like, why is this arm? And the same thing with this, like where is his hand coming from? It's just like, it doesn't make sense. But the thing about this one that I liked was that his palms were facing each other, and that I liked that the palms were facing each other because it gave that feeling that he was throwing this ring to himself on the other side. And that's what I wanted, because in the book it talks about him flipping up the ring and it vanishing and then it reappearing in other places. And that's what I liked about this. And I think that this, having the palms back to back like this, I think it lost that because it doesn't give that sense of him throwing it to himself. And so if I go back to this, if we do it like this, where he's kind of throwing it to himself, then when we rotate it like this, now he'll have these two open palms facing each other, and then he will be able to make the ring appear and reappear. I may even do something. I don't know. I may even do it to where, like, maybe on the top one, he's got the lily in one hand, and then on this bottom one, maybe it's a thing where I take the lily out and he's got the ring reappeared over here, almost like he's doing like a little sleight of hand thing, but he's not doing a sleight of hand because he's making it disappear. And maybe I could do it to where in this hand he has the ring, and so it just plays on that story of him having the ring having no effect on him. And I like that. I think that that's interesting. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I don't know if all this is making sense, but that's just kind of my thought process. I'm going to pull this. Let's get the hand, the ring, and the hand. Let's bring it right to the center. I'm going to pull this hand up even further so I can create a little bit more dynamic. I want to get this arm up even more out of the way. I really want to get it out of the way. I don't know why I'm just not deleting it and drawing it again. And like we were talking about, having like a cool strap, even like this guy from this Vladislav Urko deck, like he has a cool, just be a good opportunity to have like a cool strap that comes, a leather strap to add, depth to his costume. Maybe he's got a big strap right here, a cool buckle, and then he's got like a big leather bag. Because one of the things he does is he collects these lilies and brings them. He collects these lilies or whatever these flowers are. Say these are all flowers right here. He collects these. He goes out every day and collects these and then brings them back to give to his wife. So maybe he's got like a little quiver. And I only say quiver because I'm looking at this card over here. Maybe he's got this big quiver of these flowers. I can't foil it. I can't foil it. It's not lenticular in the sense that it only appears in some viewing angles. Well, yeah, I see what you mean. I kind of did that with the new. Let me see if I can get one of the cards right quick, and I'll show you. Let's see if it works. Let me see here. So I know what you mean. I kind of did that or attempted to do that with the Joker in the new Federal 52 decks. So this is the silver certificate right here. Let me zoom in here a little bit. So this is the silver certificate with the blue foil back. And I tried to do that. Let me find the Joker. Well, there's the Joker. Okay. It didn't work out as good as I wanted it to, but there's like the starburst behind her. I try to do it like that, but it didn't quite have the effect. I just don't have it's not lenticular, but if you see it this way and then when you hit it with the light, then you see the foil of the little starburst behind her. So I guess it didn't work out as well as I thought it would. Well, it's not that it didn't work out. It's just I just don't have. That's a pretty complicated effect. And I see what you mean. And that would be cool to make it to where you could only see it in certain angles. But I definitely can't do it with the foil, that's for sure. So I like. Let's duplicate this around and see how this is feeling now with everything in there. All right, so these arms interacting is feeling good. I need to watch this buckle and strap only because I don't want this. I may need to make this buckle and strap a little less obtrusive in the sense of making it more simplified. So it's, and what I want to do is make that strap smaller, but make it pointed like it's flowing right directly to point at the ring. And that'll help guide people's eyes right down to that ring. So let's go see what that does. Yeah, and if I do that, let's see. That's going to come down like in here. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna terminate that strap because I don't really want to make it come together. I guess I could make it come together. That'll help that'll help kind of guide the eye to like, oh, look, there's a ring in this hand, but it's not in this hand. If I had this stripe kind of this strap continued over like this, let's see. Let's try that. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. I don't mind that. I like that. See if I'm feeling good about this. I like this bag. Little bag of flowers. I like his pose. This gives me a lot more opportunity because like before I didn't have the room. I mean, I could put a bag in here, but you wouldn't know what it was, you know? With this way, you get to tell the story of like, okay, he's collecting the people that know the story and the people that know the details. They'll be like, oh, he's collecting flowers for, Lady Goldberry, blah blah blah. And so that's something that, I want to do. So now that I've got this, kind of like roughed out, I mean, I could start drawing this, but I want to take some photo reference because I really want this to be really spot on and look really good. And so what I'll probably do is take this. Let me save it because I didn't save it all. Let's go new cards. Not sure what is Tom Bombadil. He is the. I don't have his card in there. I'll just do Tom Bomb. So I'll take this with me to take the photo reference. I'll get me a nice puffy jacket to wear. I wish I had that sweet beard. That'd be awesome. And I'll end up redrawing the face just because this is way too deep, way too detailed for what I need. Because it looks great up close, but this printed at size will just be a mushy mush. And I'm going to color it too. My hope is to do two different versions, a colored version, because I would love to be able to show his blue hat, his blue feather, the white lilies, and then do a version that doesn't have any color, kind of like this sepia tone. I'm going to get me some more coffee right quick. All right, I got this saved. What do I want to work on now? Let's see. I'm trying to think. I could start working on Peter Pan, but I still haven't quite found the style that I want to do. Let's see here. Let's go to Pinterest. All right, where did I put those? I think I put them in the Wizard of Oz folder, but they're not for Wizard of Oz. So I was looking at, there's a few styles that I liked. I really like this kind of this is for Peter Pan. Now we're going to completely switch gears. Completely switch gears and talk about Peter Pan. I really liked this style. Just kind of like, it's very graphic, but at the same time it has color. Let me see if I can find some other good examples. Like this one. This one not so much. I like that a lot. I don't know why I'm getting Dave Matthews Band stuff. I wonder who the author. Let me see. See if I can go to this. Is it going to just take me to Dribble? Luke Flowers. Let's see. I like his stuff. It's nice and whimsical. His stuff is really good. I like it. It's got a very kind of, it's got a 50s, look at this pirate. That's awesome. Does he have an animation? I like his style. It's kind of cool. Because I do want the Peter Pan to feel a little bit, I want it to feel like a children's book. This is a little bit, this is honestly, it feels like SpongeBob. It feels like SpongeBob to me. It's very good, though. It's a little bit, I think it's so colorful. It's so colorful, it's almost, the color is almost distracting. At least it is with all of this on one page. Let's see. I like this one, though. Let's go back. I also like this style for some reason. It's like really rudimentary. Let's see. What is that? Bonhoeffer? That's pretty cool. I don't know. I just really tried. So many times when I do a new deck, especially if it's a fun, fanciful deck, I just really like to try to push myself to do something very, very different. To do something very, very different than I'm normally doing in terms of like style. Just to like push myself, I guess. And to learn different styles. Let me see. I got another board. Let's see. This is like a 1950s, very 1950s feel of illustration. You know, like Rocky and Bullwinkle and like, the 50s and 60s. Just a very kind of simple caricature style with rough shapes. see here. I also like this stuff. I don't know what it is about this. The drawing's a little bit weird, but I like the style for some reason. Something else I was thinking about was like, what if, I did the like those full one way full bodied court cards like on Pharaoh decks. Let me see. Pharaoh playing cards. Let's see if I can find a good image of the court cards. These right here. And this is kind of what these are the Tigers 101 Pharaoh cards. This is kind of what I modeled the full-length Tigers court cards after. And I was thinking about, what if I did these fun full-length characters of all the Peter Pan characters, kind of a halfway between, I would do them a little bit more realistic than this, but kind of a halfway in between this, like a full court card. I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about. The Jetsons. Let me see here. I mean, the Jetsons are very similar to this because they were all kind of drawn in the same era, 60s. I mean, I think some of the Jetsons are in the 50s. See this retro 1950s illustration. See, like, look at this. Like this, look at this. I think that's so cool. And they would do this a lot as well. Like notice how the chair is just like these big blobular white shapes, and then they would just print the line work right on the top of that. Let's see. That's cool. I like that paper cutout. Maybe I could do Peter Pan as like all little paper cutout characters. I really like that. That's really cool. Very vintage, nostalgic feeling. That's cool. That's interesting. I don't like the faces, but it's cool. Look at this guy. I don't know. That's Pabst Blue Ribbon, Gary Cooper. That's interesting. Look at this guy. Well, I don't want to go to dribble. Come back. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I don't know. Just trying to feel it out. The only thing is I love pirates, and there's been a lot of pirate decks for sure. That's a cool image. There's been lots of pirate decks for sure. And this will be my first deck that has pirates in it that I've done. And I want to make sure I do the pirates good. Sorry if this is boring. I'm trying to get some inspiration here of what I'm going to do. All right, let's take a turn here. Let's try something different. Sunny B book. Let's see, Sunny B book. I don't see any of these. I'm not guessing that that's what you want. Oh, Sunny B Cook. Sunny B Cook. Nothing. I've got this saved in my Lord of the Rings thing, but let's see. Now, I saw this. I thought this was really cool. If you look at this, illustration, I think it's very interesting because it has color. It has color, but there's no like shading or modeling on it. Everything is more flat and almost like a graphic. It's almost like a graphic treatment of all of this shape stuff, and I really like it. Let's see if we can find some more stuff like this. It's similar. You know, this kind of like Persian style. Let me see, who is this artist? Say who this artist is. By Kenton. Let's go check out what they're doing here. Hope there's nothing inappropriate. So even like this, I'm not a big fan of this, but I like it's a good example of like what I'm talking about in terms of like, see how everything is flat and kind of a graphic treatment. Yeah. Let's see here. I see there's another example right there. See how everything is flat. All this is flat, but it's a really cool kind of like graphic treatment. I like that. Let's see what this is. That's something different. Don't like that. Let's see here. I mean, it's good, but whatever. No, I don't want to join the community. No. They're kind of veering off now. I like this. This is kind of similar, but not as much. Definitely don't like those faces. For sure. Don't like them. Okay. But I like the way that they're doing this because it'll be a chance to do like really cool patterns. Let's see what else we got here. What's that other guy's name? Let's see what else I got saved here. Let's go look at these amazing characters. Look at this guy. Come on. How cool is that? I love that guy. I like this style too. I don't like the character or whatever, but I just like the way it's kind of rendered. It's different. Now this is awesome. God, that's cool. Look at these guys' face. Let's go check this out. Man, look at that. Look how cool they look. These are awesome. Yeah, this guy's really good. But look at this guy's face. I mean, how awesome is that? Look at her pulling that dagger. That's great. Look at this guy's face. Yeah, these are great. Look at this big guy sitting on this pig. These are really good. I wonder what this is for. Look at that guy. How fat and chubby he is. It's great. Look how he's pouring. Look how he's throwing this into the cup, and the parrot's like, what? Yeah, these are great. Man, this guy is awesome. I'm feeling like this is how I want to do it in this style. I don't know if I'm that good though at drawing cartoon characters. I mean, this. Let's see. Let's go back up the top. Especially this one. This is the one that this guy right here, and this guy right here. Just their faces. They really sold it for me. That's really awesome. This guy's hands. Let me go back. Let me save this. Let's go create board. Let's go Peter Pan. Okay. Let's check out some more. Ah, crap. Pushed the wrong button. Like this guy's face. I love that. Oh, these are great. I really want to do it like this. Just these fun. Look at this guy. Look at this guy's face. I don't need a Horizon. I don't need a Horizon train bikini. Let's see here. Oh, these are great. Let's save this. Peter Pan. Look at this one. Oh, that's awesome. Look at this guy. Jeez, that's cool. I even like it on that. Ooh, look at it. I even like it on this like felt paper with like two tones. That's awesome. Look at these. These are crazy. That's amazing. Whoa, look at that. Look at how awesome that is. These are great. Let's go back. Back. Back one more time. These are awesome. Nice kid face. Kid faces are hard to draw. Kid faces are super hard to draw. These are good too. How cute that little Ewok is. what I'm looking at right now is just like finding interesting dynamic faces that really like jump out at me. Because I mean, a lot of this is just like another reason why I do these really different character styles. Is just a good learning opportunity for myself, just to like push myself to learn, different styles. Sorry if I'm not drawing. This is part of my process here. The beginning is always the hardest. So like finding a style, really getting latched onto it. Let me search children's book illustration. See what we come up with. I mean, a lot of this stuff is cool too. All right. I think what I'm going to do is let me just see here. Get this back up. Let me go. I think I'm just going to sketch. Just want to look at some of this stuff. That's great. All right. I think I'm just going to draw. I think I'm going to draw like a pirate or something. Just see what happens. Let's go 12 by 12. CMYK. Let's make a gray background. So I'm just gonna try to draw a pirate here and see what comes up. Let me get some reference over here. All right. Okay. Don't know what's gonna happen, but we're gonna try it out. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, Kevin Keel. Kevin Keel has some awesome work. head this is Hook, and I feel like Hook would be very well manicured. He wouldn't have stubble. He would have a mole. A nasty mole right there, though. I want to give his eyes this, like, super, like, sleazy. Like he drinks too much wine. And he's like this sleazy look. He's got these bags. Probably should save this if I end up liking it. Say, let's go some Peter Pan here. Let's see here. Peter Pan, Peter Pan, Peter Pan, Peter Pan. Where are you at, Peter Pan? Peter Pan. Hook. Test. How do they do these pirate hats? Pirate hat. That's a trifoil, tricorder, what do they call it? I do like the tricorder hat. Let me see. Yeah, I definitely like the tricorder hats. Let me see here. I'm just trying to find some reference. Okay. We're going to make his tipped up. So the tricorder hats, whatever you call them, Tricorn. Tricorn. So they got a flat side in the back. Just need to figure out his head first. His head would be bigger too. Lots of pomp. I don't think I've ever drawn a tricorn hat before. What I'm going to do is long hair. That's going to be a tricky one. I kind of just want to like go and have these frizzy little curls come out. Let's see. Let's do, what is it? 17th century hair. This is what I'm thinking of. Stuff like this. just like greasy. I mean, he looks greasy. I don't know. There's King Louis. They just look. They just look. Ugh. I mean, look at that guy. Get away from me. Give me the creeps. Like, this guy's perfect. I mean, that is Captain Hook. It's like it's all greased down and dirty, and I don't know. All right, let's see here. Just go back to this layer. Sub C Dub. Man, I'm just apprehensive about this hair for some reason. Let's just do it. No, it needs to be more. It honestly needs to be more feminine, like curly, and because I feel like that's kind of how Hook was. He was very, very. He thought way too much about his appearance, so he was always primping and propping, and but I also wanted to be kind of stylized as well. There we go. I'm feeling this. Is it on a different layer? Yeah, it's on a different layer. Excuse me. He would like have a lot of accoutrements on his costume. And I want his eye to feel like it's like popping out of his head, just to give it more of that angst. It's like his hat will like go all the way behind his head. I like this big, thick, bold line work. I'm really liking that. I really like that. All right, let's take this. Let's find us some old paper texture, like an old map or something, just to get us, just to get us in the mood here. Textures, old paper. What's this look like? That'll work for right now, at least. Just doing a little test. All right, let's do this like a charcoal or something. Make it feel like it's charcoal. What is this? That's my paint one. Do I have a charcoal? Let's see. I feel like I created a charcoal, like a chalk brush for Crazy Eights. Let's see what I got here. What is this? That's kind of close. It's a little too rough. That's my paintbrush one. What are these? Those are closer. It's kind of cool. It's like a brush. I'm just gonna go with a straight brush just because. Let's see. Try to think about just like colors. Okay, let's just do it. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just looking for style, character, energy. That's what I'm looking for. I want the lines to be very angular to give him more of kind of a crooked feel, or just like the illustrations to have this quirkiness to them. Give him these ever so slightly sharp incisors, just to give him that kind of cringy, like he's a bad guy. You're not a bad guy, but you're the bad guy. Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy. And this pointy upper lip. Yuck. 9 new apps that need updating. Now I can give him some hair on this mole. That would be okay. That's disgusting. Let's just do the mole for right now. Yeah, what's a mole? What's a mole without hair? This is for C-Dub right there. Yeah, that's what he needs is a beauty mark more than a mole. Newborns are rough. It's all good though. You are not forgotten.
Feathers look like pirate hat feather. Those are so puffy. I'm on the right track. I just gotta make mine more graphic. Yeah, I like this.
I'm gonna try to bring. I'm gonna try to bring as many. Try to bring as many of my crew as I can to Niagara Falls this year at the convention. I need to find a pirate. That guy looks. I'm looking at reference photos. Some of these costumes, man. Okay. Let me see what he's got here. Let's put some like gaudy piece of like jewelry right here under his chin. It is very cool to meet people that you've talked to in the community. My wife was trying to text me what's going on here.
calling me right now. What time is it? 9:01? 7:53? Don't call me this early in the morning. Seven. Just laughing all the. Just going back and reading. Got to do odd numbers. Let's do a third one here.
Jackson. Oh my goodness. Really liking this a lot, actually. What do you guys think so far? It's going to be sweet with a bunch of color on it, too. I I don't know. I may have just drawn his whole body just to get a feel for it. I don't know. But I'm feeling really good where he's ending up. What I may do, I don't know. I don't know if I'll do this or not. So don't get your hopes up. But for my Don's Early Light crew, I may get you guys to send me pictures of yourself so I can characterize you in a way and make you guys pirates or lost boys or something. I don't know. But don't hold me to it. I'm just saying I thought about it this morning and it was something I was thinking about. And girls. Doesn't have to be boys. But I don't know. That is just a thought that came to my head this morning. Yeah, I feel like Hook was very suave and greasy. The only thing I think is I really like this face, and this will be so far from anybody's likeness doing it this style. You know, I forgot. I forgot his little greasy stash. Thought this was C Dub to begin with. Put some pattern on here. Some like lace bordering. Big gold. I'm not trying to be too detailed with it, just to hint at it. Something similar to the pattern I put on his little coif neck scarf or something. Let's take the drawings underneath. Make a little noise. Get down tonight. Like the I like the way the colors are working. I really like that. I really like this a lot. I like the colors. I like the graphic line work. Yes, yes. So what I'll probably do tomorrow is maybe just finish the rest of them or do the torso, put him on a card, see how he turns out. What is this? That's bothering me. I like that the colors are like kind of muted. It, it honestly reminds me of the color scheme of like any of the old gamers. Remember Team Fortress? Uh, Valve's Team Fortress. For some reason, it reminds me of those color schemes. Uh, he needs some he needs a little bit of eyeshadow just to give him just a greasy look. Let's see here. Just on that top lid. Just a little tint. And then on that bag. Yeah, he's greasy. I got an idea. Let's just do this. Why not? What? Nah. I guess I can put that anywhere. Jethro Tull, man. All right, my friends. I think that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a great. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for hanging out. I'll work on this guy on Hook tomorrow. Probably put him on a card, add his hand and Hook. But I'm pretty excited about that. Gonna go up to the office today and take some reference photos. It's so loud. Gonna go up to the office today and take some reference photos of some poses and stuff for Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna try to work on Tom Bombadil, but at the same time I'm gonna start working on Peter Pan. I really like this. I like this a lot. I think this will be the way we end up going. It's going to be a lot of fun to do the characters like this. Let me just take a snap of this so I can show my wife the true critiquer of my work. She usually has a pretty good bearing on this kind of stuff. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you guys in the morning. Take it easy.